Hey guys, welcome back to another LEGO Avengers Endgame set review, already on the second to last one here with the Captain America Outriders Attack, and the center for this one is 76123. The recommended ages are 6 and up, and it has a piece count of 167, while the price point is $19.99. Of course, this is the smallest Endgame set with the most Outriders, debuting our new Captain America helmet and shield. So is it worth $20? We're going to get into all of that in just a second, but if you want to consider supporting the channel while you pick this set up through Amazon Prime, you can totally check out my Amazon affiliate link down below. And with all of that, let's get started. All right, guys, this is probably our last Chris Evans Captain America minifigure from LEGO, and that is crazy to think about. When we made it to Avengers 4, I never imagined the Captain America minifigure being in a white and red Quantum Realm suit, but here we are, LEGO Chris Evans, just looking so excited to finally exit the MCU. But of course, the new Captain America helmet, just to give you a nice solid 360 view of LEGO's new piece that they put out for Cap one last time for Endgame. I'm really glad that this is finally a thing after years of super tanned looking Captain America minifigures that began in 2012 and only extended as far as 2016 Civil War, and then taking the dark red shield that, if you ask me, looked fine, and then basically taking this brighter red shield with the more like reddish white ring and making that the standard. Captain America minifigures have just not had an easy time, and so for LEGO to come in and try to fix those two things one last time before Endgame, you know, I really appreciate it, man. Now listen, I don't think this new helmet is all that great. From the front, it looks, you know, it looks really good. It looks really fantastic from the front, but then you start to turn it around and the angled side looks okay, but then it is just so thick and way too long. I just don't know how this happened or why LEGO decided to do this. I can only imagine that first of all, they wanted to make the piece really sturdy, and then second of all, they wanted to cover up the alternative facial expression, which is why they extended it so far down. But LEGO hasn't really cared about covering up alternative facial expressions for a long time now. There are plenty of minifigures where you can still see the double-sided face on the back regardless of whatever headgear they're wearing, and so I don't really understand why this had to look so goofy from the back. And I mean, even as a customizer, I don't know if I could salvage this by sanding all that down. It might look weird, and so I don't even know if I'm going to use this for my custom Captain America. But again, I'm just really glad LEGO did make this, and the printed wings on the sides of the helmet look fantastic. The first time we get wings for our LEGO Captain America minifigures, the A looks really good on the front too. But of course, you have light flesh being printed onto a dark head, and so yet again, you've got a skin tone problem here. Captain America practically looking gray. I mean, his skin is just like barely even flesh, and that's a shame because it's a really nice design, and it does look like Chris Evans, especially when you turn it around and you do look at the alternative facial expression, which is, I suppose, the primary expression here. That looks fantastic. But, you know, listen, man, if I was to take the Captain America from Civil War or the ones before that, you know, even the brighter color, like comic accurate version of Cap, I would still say this helmet and this new shield, which we'll talk about in a second, is the best version. This I would take over the Captain Americas we've had any day of the week. Because if you ask me, this wonky looking helmet from the back and the super gray skin tone is better than this head, you know, and then the new shield is fantastic. And for me, it seems so obvious. Like, first of all, why did none of us really think of this? And why did LEGO not implement this sooner? Taking the shield piece, molding it in gray, and then just printing everything on the front of it. You don't lose the color this way, and it looks fantastic. I think this is the perfect Captain America shield, and I think this is just so awesome. Now, obviously, he's also in the Quantum Realm suit, which is unfortunate, you know, I mean, because as I've established, even though it was cheaper for LEGO and Hasbro and all the toy companies to just, you know, recycle this entire design repeatedly, it's a lose-lose for us because, you know, it just eliminates the uniqueness of each one of the Avengers. And it definitely looks a little bit odd for Cap, of course, even though the design is fantastic. The torso is awesome. The texturing, the dotted effect running through the darker areas is awesome. All the red and the gray, the lighter gray on top of the white for added depth, and the Avengers symbol, the lights, it's all there, and it all looks fantastic. The leg printing is also excellent. And, you know, also the printing on the back of the torso, all of that only continuing. I've talked about these Quantum Realm suits several times already, but I mean, you know, like I said in my last review, they do get very repetitive very quick. Now, I do think it is a bit of a shame that LEGO couldn't figure out the skin tone thing at least, because I mean, other third-party vendors like Phoenix Custom Bricks, for instance, has proven in the past that you can achieve the lighter skin tone with pad printing, even when you're printing it onto a darker piece of plastic like that. Obviously, LEGO couldn't do the same thing at scale for making a mass production retail version, so that's a shame, but at least we know that it is possible. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what this new head and shield look like on the past Captain America minifigs. Here's the new head and shield on the original Captain America body from the first Avengers film in 2012, and even I have to admit, this does look pretty cool. And then here they are on the Civil War body. Again, definitely looking really awesome here, and it just really enhances all the prior versions of Cap. So yeah, I really do appreciate LEGO trying this and getting it in and done before Chris Evans leaves the MCU, so that we at least have a solid helmet and shield for Cap. And I really don't know that I can use this helmet for my own custom Cap. I'm gonna give it a shot maybe, but the new shield is fantastic, and this is the best Cap, I think. Next up, we have the seemingly higher ranking Outriders, I suppose, that we may or may not see in Endgame. I covered one of these with the War Machine Buster, and so this is the exact same Outrider that we had in Infinity War, just minus the apparatus on the back, so it's the exact same head and torso, still looking just as good as it did in 2018, but this time we have this shoulder pauldron with the 2 spikes and a couple gold Wolverine claws. So this version is the most unique, I think, for the Endgame sets. This particular Outrider variant, instead of having the stubby little droid arms stuck onto its back apparatus there, we have these bigger, bulkier droid arms that you've seen before, but all with those gold Wolverine claws jammed in, and I think that is pretty interesting. And if you ask me, this looks a lot cooler than the standard Outrider that do not come in this set. And so I think that this is actually pretty cool looking. And of course, these are all posable as well. You know, each one clipped onto a hinge, and you can twist the claws around however you like to your heart's content. So there is that. And again, the head and the torso are all exactly the same. I'm not going to pull this off to show you the same torso that you just saw 2 seconds ago. But these are pretty cool, and you do get 2 included with this set. So 2 of these new Outriders, which is really nice. This whole set is a really great Outriders army building set. And I just, you know, would have been great to have a couple other Avengers maybe. Moving on to Captain America's motorcycle, Chris Evans as Cap. He's going out in style, full-on hot rod here with a lot of fire pieces on this bulky motorcycle, which is surprisingly cooler looking in person than I was expecting, and really gives off those Ghost Rider vibes. And I just love how Cap got all these flame pieces, but Iron Man couldn't get these again in trans blue for the sets that he appears in. Either way, we can go ahead and just begin here by talking about the stickers, which we have one set like the wings here on the left panel, and then we have the same Captain America wing on the right panel as well, just inverted, and then an Avengers symbol on the main slope for the front. And otherwise, we can get started with the playability features and everything that this set actually has to offer, and it has a surprisingly good number of features to it. And so right above that Avengers symbol, of course, you'll notice that this can bend up and down the main headlight there, and then we also do have a 2x2 plate for Captain America to sit down on, and a 1x2 set of studs for him. And so we just place him right there in a seated position, get the handlebars clipped in to his hands, and it is super accommodating. Also, because you have a clip right above this gap for his shield, which of course clips in very easily like so. And so that is all really nice. And this whole bike does stand up pretty well on its own. But obviously you probably already noticed that LEGO included this Technic piece to act as a kickstand, which is really great. So you don't need it. As you can see, it's standing up just fine without it. But if you want to get it in a nicer pose, or kind of get it in a parked position, it definitely does work out really nicely. And so that can fold back up, and we can start to talk about one of the features that I think is a little bit strange. We got to go ahead and take Captain America back off of the bike. I should have had the kickstand there. We can go ahead and pull off these main cannons. So these main cannons with all the fire pieces actually are designed to be removed. And so we'll go ahead and pull it off of the Technic pin there. And then you have these pistols at the tail end of each one, because Captain America is supposed to hold them like that. It's like, man, after the decimation, Cap is just not messing around. I mean, look at this guy. Imagine seeing him deploy into Endgame, the final battle, with this. Oh man, I love it. So that is a thing that you can do, but we're going to go ahead and remove that and slide it back onto that blue Technic pin. And then we do also have the ability to remove the bigger one. And again, Captain America just packing. I mean, Chris Evans going out in style. I mean, it's like, yo, look at that. I mean, oh man, I think that is just so great. And I mean, it would really not work out if Captain America couldn't stand on the motorcycle like I just showed you, because there's obviously no way the minifigure can support that weight there. So it's great that he can stand up on the bike and the kickstand can be deployed for a really nice looking display, essentially. But we're just going to go ahead and at least get him back in a seated position for the rest of this segment so we can cover the flying disc feature. And so basically the idea is, you take an Outrider as a guinea pig, and you're supposed to take these red Technic pins on the back here, and it looks really nice, by the way. I mean, these spinning Technic pieces look really good inside, but you're supposed to push these red Technic pieces in, and they fire the Avengers discs that are deployed from these little pieces here on the front. You've probably seen these before here, and then also there. Sorry, that went out of focus for a second, but again, you push in on those red Technic pieces, and they fire, and it's great. And I just overshot that. I think you have to maybe point a little lower, like that. Oh, I still missed, and that one's gone. Okay, but you do actually get 3 of these. One is currently on the floor now, but you do get 2 of these printed Avengers discs, and LEGO really seems to like this feature. We saw this on the LEGO Movie 2 sets and a bunch of other sets recently, so those are also integrated into the front of Captain America's motorcycle as well. And if you didn't already notice, all the fire that comes out of these like pipes back here, these all can be posed, and the fire can be spun around and basically positioned however you like. And otherwise, man, that is pretty much it for Captain America's motorcycle. This thing is definitely not going to be in the movie, but I mean, dude, if it was, like I said, imagine that. I mean, like, Captain America, like, Thanos would be in for it, man. But this is definitely a surprising set. I was not expecting it to be this good. Honestly, in person, I was like, that motorcycle looks really weird. I'm not really expecting much from it, but honestly, man, I mean, for $20, you get a brand new Captain America helmet that isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than the previous ones. You get a Quantum Realm suit there, the brand new shield, which is better than all the previous shields. 3 Outriders and all these fire pieces. This thing actually, like I said, looks really good and is really great for kids. It's sturdy. I mean, all the playability features are seamlessly integrated. This is a fantastic set, and I would highly recommend it for $20. Do I wish that we had other Avengers instead of all the Outriders that oversaturate these sets? Yeah, sure, man, but I mean, it is what it is. It's still worth $20 though, I think. Also on that note, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the box, the instruction manual, and finally wrap up this video. So the box is definitely a box, and as you can see, taking place in like a hangar, I guess, of Avengers HQ. LEGO, again, trying to avoid spoilers to the point where Disney and Marvel didn't even let them put Endgame on the boxes this time because they were trying to save the title. We got Steve here one last time on the packaging, and I love the graphic here. We also have him sporting actual size reference on the top, and then on the side we have an illustration with Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and Hulk. Once again, the recurring characters of these graphics, but of course Captain America is the one to change it up here, and so I think that's really great. That is so cool. And then also the back with all the features that I just went over. Again, Captain America just not messing around. So the instruction manual is absolutely life-changing, and it is 47 pages of a life-changing experience, as you can see, ending right there. And then we have an advertisement for LEGO Life. Everyone plays that. And then also an advertisement for 3 of the Endgame sets, so that's really great. And then we also have an advertisement for LEGO Marvel Superheroes too. Alright guys, there you go. That's going to do it for my second to last Endgame review. Again, potentially the last set featuring Chris Evans, Captain America. Just absolutely crazy. And if you did enjoy this video or maybe found it informative, or if I did help you in deciding as to whether or not you plan on picking up the set, then be sure to let me know by dropping the video a comment below, as I would love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, I just launched the MGF podcast. We're going to be talking about Shazam over there. I think depending on when I post this, it's Saturdays at 2 p.m. So either tomorrow or today, if you want to consider checking that out. We're going to be talking talking about Shazam. That should be pretty fun. And otherwise, I'm going to be making progress on Captain Marvel again pretty soon here, my own custom Captain Marvel, and the progress for that is already going up on Patreon, and then also the progress for Endgame figures is going to be going up on Patreon, so you can check all that stuff out if you want to consider supporting the channel over there. Otherwise, preview photos go up over on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all those places after all of that happening before any of it makes it to the channel, so I recommend all that stuff if you're interested, guys. Otherwise, the Avengers Compound review is going to be the last one, and that's going to be hopefully out here in the next couple days. We'll see. It's a rather big set to talk about and a lot to break down, so we'll see if I can get that out. It'll definitely be up by Tuesday, so look forward to that. I hope I will see you there, and then that'll be it for the Endgame sets, and then we move toward the actual film. Man, all right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
You trust me?